Welcome to the HAVERHILL Journal, where we give you a quick look at what's happening in our city, with the most interesting stories from Broadway to Bradford. I'm Lindsay Paris, and coming up is a look at the newest word game craze hitting Haverhill and updates on possible dreams, the Rick Barry St. Patrick's Day breakfast, and more. But first, do you speak with an accent? A lot of people do. I do. And you might too, if you grew up here in the Merrimack Valley. In our next segment, we're going to have a little fun with our accents. Listen along, and it might make you think, wow, I really sound like a New Englander. You know, the Boston accent gets a lot of press, but there's a little-known variant, the Merrimack Valley accent. You know it when you hear it, right?
Sure I do.
Some say the accent is disappearing. So today, we're taking a lighthearted look at where the accent came from, where it's going, and what makes it unique.
No one totally knows how an accent develops or how a dialect develops. From a linguistic point of view, there's the Boston dialect, and then there's sort of a different dialect used in New Hampshire. Scholars have studied both and kind of said they're pretty different. There's a lot of different features of this dialect. It's changed over time, but oftentimes people would think of different words, like do people say tonic or soda or pop? And then there's also sounds. Do people always pronounce their R's, or do they drop the R's sometimes, depending on the word? So there's both vocabulary and there's sounds associated with that dialect.
Do you think you have an accent, and do other people ever tell you you have an accent?
Well, I never thought I had an accent because I listen to everybody who sounds just like me. But then you go to somewhere else and people say, where are you from? Or you're from, I've had people say you're from Boston or you're from New England, you know, in other parts of the United States. So obviously people pick up on it. But if you ask me, no, I don't have an accent.
I think I do. People say that all the time. I know you're from the Merrimack Valley, but if I'm up in Maine, they're like, oh, you're from Boston. But no, it's not a Boston accent, people. It's a Merrimack Valley accent.
I never thought that I had an accent, but when I do go to other areas in the country, I am told that I have an accent. And many people will say to me, oh, you come from New England.
I think one of the things was, you know, they talk about the Boston accent. I think it's the same thing here where the letter R isn't really necessary.
So I've lived in Haverhill now for over 15 years, but I was born and raised in Connecticut, so I say some things a little differently. We picked out some words and phrases that are known for sounding different in other parts of the country, and I tried them out with my 3 brave Merrimack Valley accent test subjects. See if you can hear the difference.
The Mary, Mary, and Mary. Do you say them differently?
Mary. I have friends named Mary, so that's M-A-R-Y. I say Mary. Then we got Merry Christmas, and then you got Mary.
Well, I have a sister, her name's Mary Jane. Somebody's getting married, Mary, and hey, Merry Christmas.
Mary is very happy because she is getting married and is very merry.
Mary, like the name, her name is Mary, she's getting married, and she's going to have a Merry Christmas.
Her name is Mary.
Mary.
She's getting married.
Married.
And she's going to have a Merry Christmas.
She's going to have a Merry Christmas.
So the cot merger is interesting because that's actually a feature that the Boston dialect has in common with my home dialect in Washington. We all say them C-O-T versus C-A-U-G-H-T, pronounced the same. But for most of the US, they're pronounced differently.
I caught a fish and now I'm going to sleep on a cot.
Okay, so we got the cot. I'm going to go sleep on that beautiful cot over there because I'm tired. Time for my nap. Oh, we're going fishing. Oh, I think I caught that. Oh, we caught that beautiful fish.
Sleeping on a cot. And hey, I caught a fish.
So which one is the one you sleep on?
A cot.
A cot. And then you caught a fish, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But you also sleep on a cot.
Sleep on a cot.
Cot.
So I caught a fish who's laying on my cot.
Caught and caught.
We have father and we have bother. Sometimes they rhyme, sometimes they don't rhyme. How do you say those two?
I say them distinctly, Father and don't bother me.
So we got father, and then, well, Yeah, that person really bothers me.
I am really bothering my father.
Father,
Father,
bother,
father,
bother,
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 ba,
bother.
ba.
Of course, we have the classic park the car. How do you say it?
I say, park the car. And, when I'm with people from other parts of the country, and I may say we just came from the parking lot, they laugh.
I parked the car in Harvard Yard.
Oh, that one I just say park the car.
Not only are there distinctive sounds to this accent, there are also some special words that an out-of-towner might not use. We tried out some famous or infamous regional slang with Elaine, Jay, and Tom.
So soda, pop, or tonic?
It was always tonic. Moxie, because I used to buy antique bottles. Moxie was called Moxie Nerve Tonic or Moxie Nerve Drink. That's where you get the term tonic.
We call it tonic.
I sometimes use soda or pop. Once in a while I'll use tonic, depending upon what's going on.
Sub sandwich, hoagie, or grinder?
I call it a grinder.
Me too. I do too.
Grinder, without an R.
I call it a hoagie.
Jimmy's or sprinkles?
I say Jimmy's.
It was always Jimmy's.
Jimmy's.
Okay, how about milkshake or frap?
Oh, it's a frap. Milkshake, what's that?
Frap. Frap I don't hear when I'm outside the area.
Be honest with you, I use both, and they're kind of a little different. Because one uses ice cream, one doesn't. The frap uses that. But the real word is either frap or frappe.
Water fountain, drinking fountain, or bubbler?
I'd say drinking fountain.
Bubbler.
Sometimes I'd say water fountain. I didn't say bubbler too much because that was kind of a fancy term.
Remote or clicker?
Oh, clicker.
The clicker.
Remote control.
Me too. Living room or parlor?
Well, actually, we called it the living room, but my grandmother called it the parlor.
Parlor. That's where they used to wake the bodies, in the front parlor of your house. That's why funeral homes were originally called funeral parlors.
Living room. Although when I'm referring to, as a matter of fact, the home I live in now, when I was a child, I would go to this home to sell Girl Scout cookies. They would have me in their parlor.
So the Boston dialect definitely is more common in baby boomers and older generations and less common in Gen X, millennials, definitely Gen Z. As a professor, I almost never have students where I could obviously immediately tell that they're from this region. There has been dialect leveling. And there's a few theories for why. One theory why is media. Starting with the rise of radio and then television and then movies and the internet, people are just more likely to hear people from California or from the Midwest.
I think when I was younger, probably more people did speak with that accent because they didn't travel that far. Pretty much people stayed locally, except for the World War II fellows that went overseas. They might have been exposed to other accents, but around here you didn't travel more than 30 miles away. So you all stayed within your own and you listened to your own.
Go back in history a little bit. Even though the world was big, the social classes were tighter because you grew up in the same clubs, your sons of Italy's. You might have married your mother and father's best friend's kid. That's what you did. These kids are meeting online. They're not meeting at the local nightclubs anymore. The local Hibernian, Sons of Italy, you name it, German club, French club. Those are all gone, those clubs.
I think that media does play a role. I think social stigma plays a role. If your parents are trying to downplay their accent, then you might be less likely to adopt that accent. Or if people give you a hard time for an accent at school or for work. And I think what's interesting now is that the tide might be turning a little bit and media might actually be helping people preserve and play up their accents. So I'm thinking of things like the ubiquity of accent challenges on YouTube and TikTok, where these are things on social media where it's sort of a game. People will say different words in their home accent. And so rather than flatten everybody's accent, now I think social media is encouraging people to emphasize their accent and recover it and hold on to it and share it with other people.
So the accent may not be disappearing entirely after all, which is great news for those who appreciate regional American cultures and don't want to see them disappear. I'm Lindsay Paris for the Haverhill Journal, and as for me, I am now going to go practice the sounds of the Merrimack Valley. Mary, 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 Mary. Funny thing about accents is you don't really realize how strong yours is until you try to speak with a different accent. Not an easy thing to do. Moving on, over the past couple of months, a web-based word game has gone viral, even creeping its way here into Haverhill. HC Media's own self-proclaimed gaming nerd Chris Bowden put together this next story in hopes to continue spreading the hype and get you and your friends hooked.
Unless you've been living under a social media rock for the past couple of months, you've probably seen your news feed filled with thread after thread of comments containing grids of yellow and green colored boxes. Now, I'm on social media a lot, and even I was confused. But on the Haverhill Journal, we like our viewers to be in the know. But today, I'm here to talk to you about an internet game. And if you can't tell by my background, I really love games. Today, I'm here to help change your morning routine with a simple game called Wordle. Wordle is a daily puzzling word guessing game designed by software engineer Josh Wardle. No, you heard that right. He titled Wordle as a play on words to his own name. Here's how you play a game of Wordle. You're going to see a 5x6 grid of empty gray boxes with a keyboard below. The object of Wordle is to guess the secret 5-letter word within 6 tries. To begin, think of any 5-letter word that will maximize your first guess. Use the keyboard below to type it in letter by letter. Then press the enter button on the lower left corner of the keyboard. If it is an acceptable word, the letters will then be revealed as correct or incorrect. If the letters remain gray, that means the letter is not in today's secret word. If the letter appears yellow, it means that the letter is in the secret word, but is currently in the wrong position. If the letter appears in green, it means that you have correctly guessed the letter and its position. You may have to get creative if you want to keep your successful guessing streak. And that's arguably what makes Wordle such a prime candidate for a viral social media trend. Friends can share their daily Wordle scores with each other without revealing the actual word, hence the mysterious colored boxes you've been seeing. Not only that, but players can create friendly competitions with one another to see who can solve the word in the least amount of guesses, and of course call out that one friend as a cheater that somehow guessed the word on their first try. So in this unique Haverhill Journal story, I decided that I would visit some of Haverhill's community leaders, introduce them to Wordle, and see how well they fare against the game. Well, you've definitely been living under a rock if you don't know Diane Connolly. This is going to be fun because Diane has not played Wordle, but why don't you tell us a little bit about what your family is doing, because you mentioned to me that there's some friendly rivalry going on.
Yes, there seems to be some friendly competition in the Connolly family about how many tries it takes them to get a word. They send pictures of their tiles to each other, but that's all I got, Chris.
Well, you have a lot to learn, and I'm going to teach you how to play right now.
All right, this is a little stressful. I'm starting with utter. Whoa, whoa!
Look at that, that's a great first guess.
So I have a U and the E in the correct place, and an E and an R in the wrong place. So I have 4 right letters.
Potentially a double letter, so we'll see. Bure, is that French?
It is Bure. Enter. Ah!
It's okay, invalid word, but you know, we're learning. Hey.
Oh! Well, that was a lot of hints from Chris. And I don't know what the word is. Coin in monetary unit of India, Nepal, and Pakistan. I believe now I understand the Wordle craze. Wordle mania is real.
As I mentioned, Wordle has inspired dozens of thematic spin-offs, from a version solving math equations. There's even a Quirtle where you solve 4 words at the same time, and even a Hebrew version. Well, I'm over here at Temple Emmanuel with Cantervera. Thank you for meeting with me today. And I know that you're already a player of Wordle, so how'd you get into Wordle?
My Facebook feed filled up with it, and I thought it looked like fun.
Now, I'm here because I learned that there's a Hebrew or different variations of Hebrew Wordle.
It's called Joodle. So Joodle is, it's in English characters, but it's words that have to do with Judaism. So it's a very open playing field, and I'm excited to see what today's, if I can guess it, ends up being.
All right, well, let's get into the game. Let's try it out.
Great. I'm just going to start with one of my favorite Jewish words, which is bagels.
Does it mean the same thing I think it means?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's some suggestion that the word comes from the Hebrew word for going in a circle, ba'agal.
I am probably going to quiz you on the word if you get it, so be ready for that.
Great.
If the word was not shalom, I wouldn't get it. That's pretty much the only word that I know, so.
You might know another one. Think about what people often say shalom with.
Shabbat.
There you go.
There
Shabbat
you go.
Shalom.
All right, Canterbury. Well, we're out of time and we didn't get it, which is a huge bummer, but you were so close. Tell me just what your thoughts were on that experience.
Oh, just that it's fun. It's fun to run through one's Jewish vocabulary and think, how would I write that in English characters? It's a wonderful anthropological exercise, and I appreciate the nudge to play it. So you've got me excited to try more Joodle.
In my final attempt to spread the love of Wordle, I went to the office behind me. That's right, to Haverhill's favorite media station, HC Media. And not only that, but to the Haverhill Journal host herself, Lindsay Paris. And if you want to see how that worked out, well, just take a look. Hey Lindsay, how's it going?
Hey Chris, how's it going?
Good. You working hard on the Haverhill Journal for this?
Yeah, I'm just editing, trying to finish this last piece.
Yeah, how's it going?
You know, it's a time process.
Have you done today's Wordle out of curiosity?
Oh no, I forgot. So I'm starting with my favorite word, stare, although sometimes I use stain. Look at that, A and E.
Okay, why stare?
Well, it's got all the most popular letters, S, T, A, R, and E. It's perfect.
Okay.
You could also use tears. Let's see. See, this is when it gets hard, when you start narrowing it down. Let me try clean, C-L-E-A-N, because L and N are also good letters, right? Well, there you go.
You got two in the right spot on the second guess. All right, well now to beat my score, you've got to get it on this next guess.
I got it! 3 words! Now I gotta do the Quordle. So excited.
You guys, what are you doing? You're being really loud. There's people trying to edit down there. What's going on?
I got the Wordle. 3 tries. 3.
That's wonderful. How about you go back to editing the Haverhill Journal, because it's on next week. Get back to work.
Back to work. Back to the salt mines.
Did we just get fired? So there you have it. Play Wordle. It's a lot of fun. I won't apologize for getting you hooked. Play, share your score, and join in on the daily fun. Friendly competition is encouraged, but do not, I repeat, do not spoil the word.
The E's in the right spot, but the A is not, but I don't. How is there no S in this? There's gotta be an S in this thing somewhere. I mean, come on. This is so annoying. Get back to work.
We had fun filming that piece, but it's very true. Our staff all plays and completes the Daily Wordle, and we've got a fierce competition going. Team Haverhill's 10th annual Possible Dreams is coming up this Monday, March 14th at 7 p.m. How is it possible that it's been 10 years already? This fun community visioning event celebrates the city's progress over the past year and shapes the future of our community by sharing and incubating new ideas to work on in the coming year. Jeff Grassi of Team Haverhill shared some details with us on what to expect.
Possible Dreams is a yearly event put on by Team Haverhill, and it gets the whole community together from every walk of life, and you come up with ideas on how to make Team Haverhill a better place to live, work, play, and it's just these great ideas. So this coming one is this coming Monday, which is March 14th, starts at 7 p.m. It usually goes on to about 8:30 or so. And there's going to be 11 great ideas that were submitted by the public. So we're going to take those 11 ideas and we're going to put those into Zoom calls. You sign up for those, and whichever ones you're interested in, it'll just be one per person there. It's about small steps, big impact. So this year's is sometimes you have these goals that are so big and they seem unachievable. So this year we're breaking that down with these groups. So here's your goal. What small steps can you take to get there? And that's how you get the biggest progress on projects like that. So they don't seem so overwhelming. You just go up step by step. I think that's going to be really successful for this year's Possible Dreams. So this year we have 11 ideas submitted by the community. We have the Union Street Pocket Park as one idea. We have the Haverhill Artist Market. We have composting throughout the city. And then we have the expanded cleaning green. Pretty much it started a couple years ago and it's grown and more people want to do in the community. And we have several others that are really great ideas too. So there's something for everybody on Possible Dreams. So to register for the March 14th at 7 p.m. Team Haverhill Possible Dreams, you go under Team Haverhill under Facebook. You can also find us our link, teamhaverhill.org, on our website.
Register for March 14th's virtual Possible Dreams by visiting teamhaverhill.org/possible-dreams-2022-registration or call 978-228-1060 and leave a message. The Haverhill Exchange Club and City of Haverhill Veterans Services Office have once again joined forces to launch the second annual Hometown Heroes Military Tribute Banner Program. Last year, the committee was overwhelmed with interest and placed over 100 banners on downtown streets. In 2022, the committee plans to place 150 banners, first come, first serve. Registration is now open. Anyone interested in purchasing a banner to display this year from Memorial Day through Veterans Day is encouraged to go to haverhillexchangeclub.com/hometown-heroes for more information, or check out the Haverhill Exchange Club's Facebook page. The registration deadline is April 1st. The winners of the City of Haverhill's Top Dog Contest were recently announced. Winners were chosen by the City Clerk's office. First place dog was awarded to Mitzi, a 12-year-old female Labrador Retriever mix owned by Terry Kenny. Mitzi is now proudly displaying dog license number 1. Second place was awarded to Maddie, a 15-year-old female King Charles Cavalier Spaniel owned by Judy D'Amelia. So cute. You can see the winning dog's photos hanging in the City Clerk's office, and they are very much looking forward to continuing this tradition again next year. The St. Patrick's Day Super Secret Committee shenanigans have already begun in preparation for the 20th annual Rick Barry St. Patrick's Day celebration, hosted by the Exchange Club of Haverhill at the Haverhill Country Club. Enjoy a breakfast buffet while you're entertained by all the blarney that the Super Secret Committee can rustle up, followed by a hilarious Hollywood-style movie starring our Haverhill friends and neighbors. There you're seeing just a few shots from this crazy film. You don't want to miss it. Trust me, I was there. The breakfast begins at 7:30 a.m. on St. Patrick's Day, Thursday, March 17th. Tickets are available at haverhillexchangeclub.com. Ticket proceeds go to benefit the Exchange Club's mission of child abuse prevention. If you have a story or event you'd like to see featured on the Haverhill Journal, call us at 978-372-8070 or email info@haverhillcommunitytv.org. And don't forget to like us on Facebook or at our HC Media YouTube channel. And that's what's happening in Haverhill this month. I'm Lindsay Paris, and we'll be back for April. See you again next time. Good night.